on a recent recording, and I mean really recent, maybe the last one or two seminars, you talked about us not even being able to comprehend where our economy could go, where it could go, where you could have such prosperity for everyone that we can't even comprehend it. Originally, when you said that, I thought about the stock market being, a number that doesn't even make sense to anyone right now. Can you give us a preview into that you just talked about there won't be anything that blows your mind in terms of scientific discovery, because that's just not how this world works. Can you give us a preview of what will lead to that economy being so magnificent that there's so much prosperity?
We can tell you precisely and exactly what brings it about. First, you have to acknowledge that through that which you and others have lived, that you have created a vibrational reality that is indescribable in terms of size and value and loveliness. There are not descriptive words that do it justice. And now, envision a current population, and it might be those of you who are here now, or generations that follow, or some of both. Imagine that larger numbers of you have given up the battle and the fight and are no longer pushing hard against what you don't want as you've launched your rockets about what you do want. And you have found through a variety of ways the means to vibrational alignment with what's in the vortex, so that what's being revealed to you is being realized by you, by more of you, not just some of you, by more of you. So that larger and larger percentages of the population are allowing the abundance that they've asked for to actually actualize into their experience. Because economy, the way you mean it, is actualization of energy. And sometimes it's easy to discover that conversation or to comprehend it a little better when you think back just a few short years or decades of what your economy was. Your populations have been large. That's a misunderstanding. You've had large populations, but the difference in the economy is about the state of allowing that the masses are in.
What will lead to that in the short term? What will lead to that allowing? I understand the connection between connection and allowing, but what's that?
It happens in two ways, primarily. One is as a result of what we and you are doing. We are teaching laws. We are teaching processes. We're appealing to your logic. We are helping you to find resonance with your true knowing. And so we are step by step leading each other into more alignment. That's one way. The other way is that people know what they don't want, so they ask for what they do want, and they know what they don't want, and they ask for what they do want, they know what they don't want, until they create such a critical mass of asking, and until there becomes such a glut of people pushing against people, and people being disconnected from their source and feeling the awfulness of what that feels like when they're disconnected from their source, and speaking out and speaking out and speaking out until there is a sort of collective consciousness of an I give up moment, where there's just too much meanness and too much awfulness and too much unnecessary unkindness and too much suffering and too much hunger and too much war and too much dissatisfaction on steroids for the endurance of the likes of you who are extensions of pure positive love energy. You just reach this place where you've asked and denied and asked and denied and asked and denied and asked and denied till you're just all out of denying. You just let it go. The pushing against is just too much for now. And as that happens, now the whole world doesn't have to do it at the same time and won't. But as a higher and higher percentage reach that place, then you begin to see that happen. You're already beginning to see that happening. And then we want to add to that something really important, and that is not one other has to understand this in order for you to have that I give up moment. And you're not giving up your hopes and dreams. You're not giving up your creative genius. You're not giving up any of your desires. You're just giving up your resistance. You're just giving up the struggle.
It's interesting because one of the thoughts I had when I knew I wanted to talk about something like this, but you just brought it back to something individual, and the two things really do tie together. They really do.
It has to be.
Yes.
It has to be. Because as our friend helped us to realize, we are all that exists in the universe. Or at least let's go so far as to say we're the center of it.